Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hope you're all doing well out there. It's been a while since I posted a video, but it's time to start putting up a few more videos, and I'll explain why here shortly. So as you know, some of my last couple videos I think was of our vacation to Colorado, where we hauled the camper out there and stayed at my sister's place. Ended up staying there for 2 weeks, and we were just about ready to pack up and hit the road. And on the 4th of July, I had a family member got, well, I don't know if he got sick, but anyway, he took a trip to the hospital, my uncle. And that's still an ongoing ordeal. He's actually pretty sick, so he lives in Montana, and my parents wanted to go up there and help the family out with some of the things that are going on with him and all that. So I wasn't doing much, so I volunteered to drive up there with my parents and help them in any way that I could. Ended up spending just short of a month up there, trying to help them out and make life easier for everybody up there, doing whatever it was that I could. So now I'm back in Iowa. That's how I spent the majority of July. Was out there helping family. But now I'm back at home, and I'm starting to think about what to do with this winter. I really enjoyed my time in Arizona and traveling around last winter, rather than being stuck in the house here in the middle of Iowa. They get pretty cold and humid winters here, so if I have it my way, I'm going to be somewhere else this winter. And I've really been trying to figure out what to do and how to go about it. My wife is not interested in doing that for a lengthy period of time, so I'll probably end up doing that solo this year. We'll see how that works out. It's just not her thing, so I've done what I can to try to make it more attractive to her, and she still doesn't have much interest in it. So it is what it is. I can't change the way she feels about it, apparently, but what I can do is just make some arrangements to make it as comfortable for myself as I can, and that's kind of what I've been working on. So I guess without any further ado, I guess I'll show you what I ended up purchasing a couple days ago to try to help me out with this. (2010) Transit Connect. Ever since I sold the big Econoline 350 van, I've been kind of missing the van. As you know, we had this fifth wheel we bought last year, and that's working out okay. Back here I'm storing my son's car for him. Or stepson. He's in Mexico right now on an adventure of his own. So it's starting to look like a used car lot around here. I've got my pickup in the shed there, and our Honda Civic on the other side. So just what we needed was another vehicle, right? Anyway, I ended up buying this Transit Connect, and I'm going to convert this to a camper. It'll be my second van build project, and I just kind of wanted to show it to you and give you a heads up so that you know that my channel is going to start including videos on how I'm going to build this camper. And I know what you're saying, Transit Connect, boy, those are tiny and not much room, especially in comparison to the other van that we used to have that we sold at the beginning of the summer this year, which was the extended Ford Econoline 350. And you're absolutely right. I've been wanting one of these Transit Connects for quite some time, but the problem has always been traveling with 2 people and a dog, and how are we going to make use of that space or make that space workable. But it looks to me like I'm going to be doing most of my long-term traveling by myself, so That means I have double the space of what I would normally have. Maybe even a little more than double, because I probably will be leaving the dog at home with Selena. So just be a solo camper van basically. I am going to try to build it to where I can utilize it with 2 people and the dog if it's possible. And I've been trying to get my creative mind working and browsing YouTube for ideas and trying to figure out what to do, and I think I've got a pretty good idea in mind and how I'm going to make it all happen. Matter of fact, I just got back from the hardware store. I bought a little bit of supplies to start working on this project. Anyway, here's the grand tour of the van as it sits, as we just purchased it. Again, it's a 2010 Connect. It was a single owner. We bought it from a car lot, which I normally don't do. But of all of the Connects that I looked at, this one looked to be the one that would fit the bill. It has 100,000 miles on it, 100,300 or something like that. I had to drive 130 miles to pick it up. But it was about $1,000 to $1,500 less than everything else I was looking at. I was also really reluctant to purchase a vehicle here in Iowa where we live, or this part of the country, because of the rust problems. And I actually got a pretty good van. I do have a little bit of rust. I don't know if you can see it on those bolts. Some of the bolts and nuts on some of these brackets. This catches road crud from the street, I'm sure, when that door is shut, but you're driving. On these rocker panels, just on the bottom, just a little tiny bit of rust clear up underneath. Just a little bit of surface rust on both sides, and kind of the same thing on the back splash pan right below the rear bumper. But that's all I could really find, other than some of these bolts here and there, as far as rust. The bottoms of the doors, all the doors are good to go. The floor is not rusted. No rust anywhere else that I can find. So I think I'm going to get pretty lucky with that. I looked at some of these when I was in Colorado, but man, they were just so expensive. I just really couldn't justify it. Anyway, tires are in good shape. The body is actually in really good shape. The paint's nice. It's a little bit dirty, but not bad. I mean, I got a couple little scrapes here on the bumper. I got a little bit of a ding right there, but heck, I mean, for a, what is it, 7, almost 8-year-old vehicle, it's really in good condition. Now the back, this is the XLT, so it's got air and cruise and all of that. You can tell they've hauled some cargo with it. It's got some bumps and bruises and a few dings here on these panels. And the original floor mat is stained up, and it's not rust, but it's got some stain. I don't know what they had strapped down in here. And then this plastic's all chewed up pretty good, but I lifted it up, and underneath it the floor looks good. The floor isn't rusted, and the paint's still good on it and everything. So this doesn't bother me. I'm going to be covering this up anyway with my plan, so not a big deal. The nice thing is both the sliding doors have windows in them, and so do the back doors, and the rear window defrosters, which is nice, and wipers and all that. Couple panels back here. These, I don't know what the heck kind of wood that is. They got holes busted in them from some of the gear they had in there, but heck, those are easy to redo, and I'll probably redo those with a panel that'll actually have a foldable shelf on it, so they're going to have to come off anyhow, so not a big deal. This model, as you can see, actually has the rear seat, 3 seats here, and this folds up. That folds up as a double, and this folds up as a single, and they'll fold up and kind of store right up in here up against the back of the front seats. And I've always wanted a third seat or a second row seat in the other van that I built, so we could haul more than 2 people, you know, if I wanted to bring another person along or just give somebody a ride somewhere or something like that. So that option is already here in this vehicle, and this seat looks, upholstery wise, heck, it looks like it's brand new, and so do the fronts. You can tell there's a little bit of wear on them. I shampooed them the other day and they're dry now, and cleaned them up. They look really good condition. All of the dash and everything else is in good condition. It's got the little storage basket up there. The net's intact. The headliner's got a little bit of wear on it, a little bit of scrapes and stuff here in the back where they had I don't know, hauling tall objects or cargo, whatever the heck they were using it for. But so my plan is to build this and actually leave these seats in here. I'm going to try to work a bed system with the seats folded up. I'm going to work it with a bed across that side there as a single, and then also the option to fold both seats up and have a double bed here, and it's going to go clear up here to the back of the front seats. It'll be about here, 20 inches or so off the floor. So underneath, below the bed and the floor, will be 20 inches of storage space. So, and these can carry quite a bit of cargo weight, so that should be good also. I don't know if I'm going to put a vent fan in this thing. I know it's going to be stuffy if I don't. I still haven't quite decided that, and I haven't also decided whether or not I'm going to do the solar thing or not. If we're going to carry our refrigerator, I really need some sort of solar in order to be able to run that refrigerator nonstop like we do in the camper. So those plans are all still in the works, but that's what I'm working with, guys. A beauty about this is it's going to get more than double fuel mileage of the other van that we have, or pulling that camper. So that'll open up a lot of doors as far as traveling, how far I can go and how much it's going to cost to travel. Of course, there's nothing perfect. You always have to make a sacrifice of some form or another, and in this case the sacrifice is space and how much, you know, junk you're going to haul with you. But I really, when I travel with the wife, I just really don't take much stuff for myself. A little bit, but not a lot. Anyway, my plan is to get this thing built out. It's, what is it? I don't think it's quite the 1st of October or September, but we're getting close. I don't know if tomorrow's the first day of September, but anyway, I plan on leaving around mid to late October for Arizona, and I want to stay out there for probably 5 or 6 months. So I got a month or so, a month and a half, to put something together here with this van and try to get it usable and comfortable so that I can travel in it by myself down to Arizona this winter. So here's basically my plan. You see, we've got this floor here. This is approximately from there to there. What the heck was it? It's about 3.5 feet. And you got about the same width-wise here at the top of these wheel wells. It's almost 5, oh, it's a little more. 5 feet maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm gonna take, I just bought a half sheet of 1/2-inch plywood. I'm gonna also try to do this thing as light as possible. I'm not worried about fanciness. I may end up painting everything eventually once I get it all done, but I'm gonna build it first. I'm gonna try it, and then if I like it, I'm gonna paint it. It's also gonna be, hopefully it's gonna be removable. I'm not really going to build anything in here that's permanent. So that's another challenge that I've set upon this project, to try to make it, I guess modular would be the word, or removable. But my plan is to put that 1/2-inch plywood down here, build the floor out, up just to the back of those seat brackets. And the only reason I'm doing that is that's just going to sit right on top of that sheet of plywood, so that I have a floor that I can screw to. And then as I build this bed, I'm going to screw it down to the floor, and that's what's going to keep it from sliding around in here, since I'm not going to bolt anything to the side, or at least at this point in time I don't think I'm going to do that. It's all going to be basically mounted to this board that I'm going to put across the back here. One unit that's about half this distance, a box with a bed surface on top, and then as I fold that seat down, this bed surface will be double, and I'll be able to lay it open for the full length. And then when I want to travel, or if I need to use those seats, I can fold that top piece back and it will fit behind the seat. The whole box will fit behind the seat. Then I can pop that seat up and use the seat. I mean, I can take those seats out if I have to, and I've seen some real neat Connect designs where people have those seats removed, or they didn't have the seats in the to begin with, and a single bed type setup, which would be nice. But I'm going to try to go minimal on this, modular and lightweight. Those are my 3 biggest objectives at this point. And then what I thought I might do, and again, I got this idea off of YouTube. There's a guy that has a Transit Connect, and then one of those tent awnings, easy up type deal, like a 10 by 10, and it fits right over the top, so the whole back end of this thing has got an awning over the top of it. And of course you got to fold that up and stow it away, but you can have these doors open and have your bed there and have that awning, so you can have in rain or light rain, you could still be hanging out in the van if you wanted to, or sleeping there, and have your table set up out here with a cook surface and your stove and that sort of thing. So those are some of the ideas that I've got in mind. If you guys have ideas, I'd be interested in hearing them. I pretty well have my mind made up how I'm going to put this thing together. So if you give me an idea and I don't use your idea, please forgive me, or don't take any offense to that, because everybody's got to build it, build out their vans or whatever vehicles to suit their personal needs, and nobody knows my personal needs better than myself, of course. But that's how I get my ideas, from your guys' input, comments on my videos, or just flat, surfing YouTube for van builds and that sort of thing. So fire away if you've got ideas. I don't know. I don't have any plans drawn up or anything. I'm just going to start throwing stuff together and build this thing. The first piece is to cut this piece of 1/2-inch plywood that's going to go on the floor. I was going to go with 3/4 inch, but I don't think I need that extra weight. 1/2 inch I think will be strong enough to hold what I'm going to be building in here. And again, I'm going really as lightweight as I possibly can with this. Hope you guys are excited about watching it. I know I've been kind of slacking on the videos recently, but YouTube isn't my job. It's just a hobby for me. So I will be more than happy to bring you guys along for this adventure and this build, and then hopefully I'll be making some videos from Arizona this winter, sleeping in this thing, or living out of it. I guess at the moment that's all I've got going on, guys. Let me show you one other thing here. I looked at some of the YouTube videos of Transit Connects, and we got this weather strip right here on the passenger door. It's pretty common that this thing comes unglued. It needs to be glued back up there. And a small 2 or 3 inch section on the driver's side starting to do the same thing. Other than this, really all the weather stripping is in good shape, but I need to get this fixed right now. All I'm going to do is put some silicone in the corner of that and then tape this thing in place and let it set, and hopefully it will bond. We'll see. So hopefully next video I'll show you how that has worked or didn't work out for me. But what happens is the top of the door actually fits in this channel, and then any water that gets through there runs down that channel and drips out the front. And the same thing back here, but that's one of the first things I'm going to do is get those glued up so that silicone can set up and get that taken care of before it becomes a bigger problem. And then start working on that board for the back piece. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoy the videos and tag along for the adventure. Have a good one. See ya.